Hello everyone and now welcome to a game, Infi versus FoCuS, this game taking place here on Twisted Meadows. Let's go ahead and start things up. Infi spawning as the pretty in pink night elf on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile on the bottom left hand side of the map we have FoCuS spawning as the blue orc. Orc versus Night Elf, Infi versus FoCuS, games that we have seen many times before. This game, well, taking place on the ladder, so perhaps they've already gone up against each other a couple of times, and we'll see what does unfold here. Now, I did mention in a previous game that well, the community is a little bit split. The W3 Champions community and the Battle.net community is actually split, and I'm not quite aware of how much, or I don't quite know how much the other team at Blizzard or the other company that's been outsourced to handle Warcraft 3, how well they're keeping track of the W3 champions and a balance and balance over there. When you're trying to look at multiple data sets and data, especially when the W3 champions, player pool is known to be significantly more talented and play at a higher rate than the Battle.net talent pool, it really makes you wonder what types of decisions the players are influencing if they're only looking at the Battle.net pool. I'm not saying that I'm not condemning anyone, I'm just saying this is how the situation is. Being able to point out a problem, it is not an indication that anyone is doing anything wrong, it's just this is a problem we need to be aware of. And if decisions are made that we don't quite understand, well, that may be the reason why. Alright, Peon gonna get choked to death here. Meanwhile, Ancient of War taking quite a bit of damage. This may actually become a bit of a problem. They're trying to finish off this Null Overseer. Once that command aura is gone, the damage will drop off significantly, as now it tries to eat up some more trees. Down to 87 hit points. That's actually fairly low. Could become a bit of a problem. He's gonna get that last hit. Oh, I believe the last hit was made by the archer. Actually, was it made by the archer? No, I think it was not made by the archer. I think it was actually made by that Ancient of War. Gold was lost, a little bit of a misstep there, as the Keeper of the Grove is out and are running out across. That 5-3 1 creep camp with the help of an additional Peon kill should get you much closer to level 2. Keeper of the Grove still needs a full kill in order to try and get to level 2. Alright, Keeper of the Grove is perhaps going to try and do some entangles. Yes, there's an entangle there, trying to disrupt as much mining as possible. Peons are, well, having to get back to work, so to speak, as we see a bit of a deny by FoCuS. Beautifully done once more. Meanwhile, there is another entangle, and we're looking at, well, a large number of workers actually going to get finished off here. There goes another one. Archer perhaps going to get in a good shadow mode, as the Keeper of the Grove does get one kill, but a Peon kill wasn't going to be enough in order to level up. Nice Peon deny, yep. Every little bit does definitely matter. Keeper of the Grove now making its way back across over here. Ancient of War now training up Huntresses. Alright, so I was not expecting Infi to stay at tier 1, go to an early Hunter's Hall, and now get Huntresses. This is a strategy, and this may be all part of Infi's plan. Infi purposely diving into FoCuS's base here, taking out 2 peons, means that FoCuS is going to be significantly lumber strapped by the time this Great Hall upgrade is done. By the time we get to Stronghold, there's not going to be as many opportunities to build, train up your second hero, to try and get your bestiaries and your spirit lodges. And behind all of this, Infi looks like, well, it looked like for a while that he was going to be trying to train up a large number of Huntresses and put in pressure. Now that no longer seems to be the case, as we also see a Tree of Life behind this. So are we looking at mass tier 1? No, we're not. So Infi doing a little bit of a playbook, of a play that I'm not quite used to, and I'm wondering how this is all going to unfold. Excuse me. All right, a little bit of a peon block right there, preventing the archer from slipping on through. Shadow Hunter now, while popping on out, as we're looking at the Huntresses, looking to finish off this Voodoo Lounge. And once that Voodoo Lounge is gone, well, we know how important the Voodoo Lounge is for Orc. That is access to the majority of their healing early on. As we're looking now at the Huntresses going after this Null Warden and take it down, it is going to give level 2 to that Keeper of the Grove. That Keeper of the Grove should have had level 2 for a while. That little misstep with the Ancient of War early on really setting things back here. All right, there a little bit of sight here, and level 2 now on the Blade Master. Blade Master trying to dish out some damage, going after the Huntress. Huntress gonna break away, and the Blade Master able to break out of the entangle with Mirror Image. All right, so using Mirror Image there to break out. So Windwalk, Mirror Image, maybe some Critical Strike a little bit later. We'll see how all of this unfolds. Tree of Life already making its way over here to the bottom right. Blade Master, Illusion, the Mirror Image is going to spot this, and well, things are already underway. Serpent Wards now being placed down as well. Little bit of extra damage bonus. Those Serpent Wards, 14 to 16 damage, get really powerful later on in the game with that high piercing damage. Keeper of the Grove, well, nearby here, if we are looking at a Goblin Alchemist as the second hero. So Infi really playing Night Elf like it is, well, 2019, 2020. This Keeper of the Grove Goblin Alchemist style with Huntresses could cause some problems, as this Tree of Life now currently needs to replenish its hit points. Going to go ahead and eat some trees. 12 or 1,000 hit points already lost, but it looks like it will be just fine. Keeper of the Grove going to stay at level 2. Alchemist is going to stay at level 1. It looks like that Blade Master actually stole quite a bit of experience, as this Tree of Life still needs quite a way to, well, regenerate some hit points. Blade Master maybe coming back in. Yes, gonna go ahead and try and put in pressure, while the Shadow Hunter off on the other side of the map still continuing to creep double Serpent Wards down here, and now up to triple, able to poke apart pretty quickly and finish off this creep camp. Blade Master, however, cannot stick around, as there's enough Huntresses to stay nearby and cause problems. Where is the Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist? Where they are running off by themselves, not moving around with the rest of their army. So this is still a bit strange to see all of this split action in multiple places. Great Hall is now being placed down, and it looks as though the Keeper of the Grove is going to try and go after the Shaman. No, it's not. Alchemist now coming back the other way. Infi is running in just multiple different directions, and this is a very large map, so it's going to take quite some time for everyone to actually get spotted. All right, Blade Master trying to take down this entangled gold mine should have no problem, as it is still being constructed. Since it doesn't have fortified armor, it does take that full damage away, or full damage from that entangled gold mine here. But what is this? Are we going to see some repairs? No, they are jumping inside. Now they are trying to repair here, getting up to 84, as we see some acid bomb going down on that Blade Master. This Illusion can still do a little bit of damage, but not going to amount to very much. Yeah, about 3 damage per attack there on that entangled gold mine. Let me keep track of something. Hold on. Give me one moment. All right, hopefully everything went well. Blade Master still, yeah, I'm trying to get a good sense of what is going on in this particular game. Infi has been doing some harassment, hasn't really been able to capitalize on much of that harassment. FoCuS, well, FoCuS is trying to shut down this entangled gold mine here. Alchemist is trying to do some creeping. Shadow Hunter is already up to level 3, so level 2 Serpent Wards are going to be on the table, and now the Alchemist is actually going to get caught in a tough spot. One of those situations, again, is that the Alchemist, well, could end up getting taken down. Yeah, Alchemist quickly taken down. Staff of Teleportation inbound, but unable to transfer the Scroll of Town Portal, as the Goblin Alchemist already falls. So this is actually some easy cleanup on aisle 3 for FoCuS. as the Serpent Wards are already in position here. A couple of Purges going down onto those Huntresses as well, making it difficult for them to try and retreat. So even without Raiders, the Shaman and the Shamans with their Purge able to get the job done. 47 supply, however, for Infi compared to FoCuS's 38. So Infi still somehow has more of an army here out on the battlefield, 20 workers as well. So I guess the overall army sizes are fairly comparable, especially when you consider the Alchemist and some other units are still getting trained up. All right. Blade Master now going to try and take down some of these Wisps. It looks like FoCuS is starting to really pull ahead in this spot. Both sides are just going back and forth. Meanwhile, off on the other end of the map, well, I guess I can't say FoCuS is pulling ahead, as Infi is pretty much doing the same exact thing as well. Tree of Life taken down, and well, the Great Hall here was able to stick around and stay alive, as the Blade Master using a Scroll of Speed trying to get in front of this Keeper of the Grove, but doesn't get in front of it, as the Keeper of the Grove somehow is still able to outpace this Blade Master. Are we going to see a Purge go down? Yes, there's that Purge there. Infi being forced to retreat back. Meanwhile, the Huntresses are still playing this harassment game. The Huntress, with their fast movement speed, able to, well, move around this very large map and cause problems. More Huntresses off over here to the top left. It looks as though the Goblin, or the Keeper of the Grove, now back and inbound here, as we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove already in position again. Alright, if at first you don't succeed, try again, and that seems to be the name of the game here. All the glaive bounds finishing off many of those peons as this Great Hall gets taken down. Lightning Shield now, well, adding in some bonus damage. The Huntresses are trying to chase after the Shaman who gave them that gift and perhaps rack up damage on them, and it looks like the Lightning Shield is causing a bit of denies, as well as the Lightning Shields are getting in the damage. Look at this Lightning Shield on a Huntress, completely surrounded by Orc units, racking up a bit more damage too. There's a departing Entangle trying to finish off perhaps that Shaman. Shaman does end up getting choked to death by those strangling vines. Level 2 Entangle, level 1 summon, level 1 Force of Nature summoning those treants. Alright, Infi building up a new Tree of Life off to the north and setting up a Tree of Life here at that 4 o'clock spot, taking a play out of Moon's playbook. When you constantly set up extra bases, when your opponent finally scouts your expansion and thinks that they've taken it down, they could still be behind economically, not realizing that you still had another expansion you were trying to establish. Blade Master does pick up Boots of Quell the Loss, additional armor, additional attack, faster attack speed, everything that Blade Master wants. Illusion now scouting out the top right hand side of the map. FoCuS is going to be able to spot this Tree of Life here. Meanwhile, there is another Illusion down to the south. So FoCuS knows that there is a possibility of a double expansion underway, as the Tree of Life is taking quite a beating here, and well, may have to root itself soon. Once more, another battle happening down across on the south here. Goblin Alchemist getting up to level 3. Ensnares going down, so Infi is getting many of his units picked off as well. So Infi now down to 36 supply, and FoCuS takes the supply lead. This battle has been going, or the pacing of the game has been going back and forth, and since Twisted Meadows is such a large map, well, speed seems to be key in this game here. Alright, that Forest Troll Trapper going to get taken down. Tree of Life needs to train up some Wisp Repair and start entangling that gold mine. Meanwhile, Infi already having plenty of Wisp here ready to saturate that gold mine as well. Infi, we're going to get high on a large number of workers. We're also looking at 2-1 upgrades for all of these Huntresses, as the Raiders are now looking to dive on in and cause problems. Repairs are underway. Do we see Nature's Blessing? We do, but it may not matter if those Raiders are getting healed up and able to dive in onto these units here. Alright, gonna go ahead and try and engage differently. This is just a pure base race scenario, as the Orc Burrows do not have reinforced defenses yet. Is it gonna really matter, as it's gonna add additional damage from only the Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist? Blade Master, Staff of Teleportation inbound. Mirror Image trying to finish off some of these other units here, as we are looking at the Tree of Ages. trying to be repaired, but the ensnares coming across from the Raiders, stopping their attacks here. All right, Ancient of War could come back around, perhaps try and engage an attack as well. Here we are, here we go, triple Serpent Ward. They're going to be able to poke down many of these Huntresses. And now we're looking at the Shamans purging down on those tree ends as the Tree of Ages is about to fall down to 100 hit points. It looks like it is going to get taken down. There it goes. But at what cost? How many other Grunts and Raiders are going to be lost? Wow, one Raider down to 20 some odd hit points before it was able to, retreat back. All right, I believe there was a healing wave right on that Raider. That Raider currently, doing all right for himself, but cutting it a bit close. All right, Blade Master coming back in to join in on the fight here. Perhaps we'll get closer to level 4, maybe a little bit shy. And Infi is impersonating Moon again as we're looking at another base being built down here. I've said it before, if you're in a base race scenario, having more bases, is definitely good for you, as Infi is looking to set up a new Tree of Life here at his starting location. There we go. All right, meanwhile, Huntresses, Goblin Alchemists making their way down, perhaps going to expand into this location, a secret ninja base very close to your opponent, and perhaps a location that isn't normally scouted out. All right, Huntress is going to get into position here. Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist could both level up off of this creep camp, especially if the Keeper of the Grove does back off after that first initial kill. Alchemist, however, looks like the Keeper of the Grove is going to take some of that precious experience as Alchemist now grabs the Talisman of Evasion. A little bit of, extra survivability, which is incredibly important for this 875 high hit point, low armor Alchemist. Hereby greatly increasing his overall effective hit points. Huntress is ready to join in on the battle here. We're going to try and take down some of the bestiaries, some of these other buildings. Guard towers are in positions. They have decent range, able to poke back across here as the one bestiary now taken down and now going after the remaining production buildings. Blade Master and Shadowhunter. Blade Master still sitting at level 3. Shadowhunter sitting up at level 5 with Scourge Bone Chimes, as the Shadowhunter, where is it teleporting off to? Trying to place some Serpent Wards down to act as a deterrent against any sort of harassment here. Once these 2 Serpent Wards are cleaned up, perhaps then the Watchtowers will then be done, and that's going to cause some more problems here. A little bit more poking. Shadowhunter now coming back the other way, and we can see that the Shadowhunter could place down some more Serpent Wards to try and defend. One Huntress going to get taken down. Now we're going to be going after all of these tree ants, peons. Are they going to, force a cancellation as FoCuS unable to set up this expo here? Meanwhile, Infi is on the other end of the spectrum, having multiple gold mines and not even fully saturating them, even though the entanglement is done. All right, there we go. Infi finally saturating here, going to place down a couple of Ancient Protectors. By a couple, I mean a good 4? All right, 3 Ancient Protectors and an Ancient of War, just trying to outbuild and, be a better city planner and just have more bases all over the place. Scroll of Town Portal for a tactical retreat. Huntress trying to get away. There's some more Sentinels being thrown up all around the map, keeping track of where FoCuS's army is. All right, we're running off of 3 bases, but somehow Infi doesn't have a large amount of gold in the bank. I'm not quite sure why this is the case, especially with a 4th base now coming online. Huntresses, the Orc heroes don't seem to be super high level. That's normally the case if you're accidentally feeding your opponent experience, as we're now looking at the Blade Master engaging against this Tree of Life on the top left. Meanwhile, I thought I saw something here. Maybe it was just a mirror image getting resummoned. Yeah, there's a couple of detonations. Wisp trying to stay alive. I actually believe these units actually give some experience. So if there's another detonation, it would actually take down those 2 mirror images, giving a bit of experience. Meanwhile, what is the Night Elf army trying to do? Night Elf is going to try and push once again once more with this army of huntresses. So just mass huntresses with heroes is all we've really seen throughout this game, except for maybe a couple starting archers, and that is it. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3 still. Goblin Alchemist does have level 2 healing spray, trying to keep all of these units alive. 48 supply compared to 49. But Infi starting to build up that larger bank of gold that we were talking about earlier. Shadowhunter now coming into the back here, going to try to place down some Serpent Wards and fend off this attack here. Inbound the Scroll of Town Portal now as the Huntresses look to do a tactical retreat and fall back. No ensnares, no purge as of yet. And once that happens, Infi may be forced to turn around and force an engagement here, as we're looking at Infi, well, instead using the tactical Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat. Lightning Shield, well, need to separate all of those units quickly, otherwise, well, you could accidentally kill some of your own units. All right, this hidden base over here on the bottom left, still mining freely. Infi's starting location still mining as well, as well, FoCuS's starting location only has 80 seconds left more. So 5 minutes of mining here for Infi, about 75 seconds left here for FoCuS, and then FoCuS is going to be down to 1 base, and which is not yet fully saturated. I am surprised that Infi is going for this mass huntress style, as I originally expected before I saw the tier 2, but the tier 2 was only to get the alchemist, and getting that second hero, and perhaps opening up the upgrades, as we're looking at level 2 armor upgrades and Nature's Blessing. All right, looking at a little bit of damage getting added across the board. There's some healing spray to keep all of these units alive, and well, these watchtowers are going to get taken down fairly quickly. You can see that glaive bounce going across multiple buildings here, and now eventually those peons are going to get taken out. Meanwhile, we're looking at massive repairs. Lightning Shield, Infi in a little bit of trouble. This is his Tree of Ages. So he actually upgraded a separate tree into Tree of Ages so that he can continue to get some tech. And now there's the tactical retreat. The Blade Master going to go ahead and be teleporting away. All right, base race scenario all across the board. We're going to see this Great Hall also get taken down. Scroll of Town Portal not yet used. Are we going to see? Yes, there he goes. There's that Scroll of Town Portal. Huntress now trying to retreat all the way back. And what is FoCuS's strategy going to be now that he's down to 0 bases compared to his opponent's 2? All right, additional wisps will need to be trained. They can get a bit more, harvest a bit more lumber, as well as this tactical retreat down here is still fairly, and this outpost is still fairly well protected. Triple Ancient Protectors and a Front Ancient of War. All right. More scrolls of healing, perhaps more items to purchase, as Infi is low on lumber. And now we're looking at Serpent Wards being placed down again. Huntresses being forced to try and retreat back. Blade Master Illusion gonna go ahead and scout out this Tree of Life over here on the top left, and well, Huntresses just using a very tactical hit and run strategy over and over again. It must be fitting for an Orc player to try and have to deal with this, as Orc players are the ones that are more often known for hit and run strategies with their raiders and pillage. All right, Huntress is able to clean things up here pretty quickly. Perhaps are we going to see a Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, or something up that lane to try and get in a little bit more heals, as the Alchemist is sitting at level 4, getting closer to level 5. Items being dropped there. Wand of Mana Stealing, Clarity Potion. It looks like it was used for a second, but perhaps it disrupted, as the Keeper of the Grove is nearby, ready to, well, put pressure onto this Great Hall. Serpent Wards are constantly disappearing. More Serpent Wards are there to try and replace, but this is buying time for the Alchemist to perhaps get up to level 5. All right, level 5 on the Alchemist. This could be a very big deal, especially as we're looking at, well, Infi just continuing to bank up more gold. I don't think FoCuS realizes what is going down here, as the Serpent Wards are there to quickly deter these, well, treants from being able to take down this Great Hall. All right, quick entangle onto the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor will get taken out. And meanwhile, well, what was that? Goblin Alchemist sitting at level 5, clearing up this creep camp, has picked up a Pendant of Mana, and now going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal over here to the bottom left. All right, tactical retreat here, Staff of Teleportation, and here we are, here we go. And the snares now going down. Ancient Protectors are offering up a bit of protection here. Infi has been mining a decent amount of gold, and now the Blade Master gonna go ahead and finish off a Huntress. Little bit of a misstep by Infi, trying to well, teleport into that location, not under the cover of these Ancient Protectors, as we now see ensnares going down. Alchemist going to try and teleport away, down to 125 hit points, down to 162. He uses the Scroll of Healing, but still ends up getting taken down, giving a level up to the Blade Master. Keeper of the Grove does show up, but he is a little bit late. There was a purge on that Goblin Zeppelin to not allow it to pick up and get close enough there, and that was the big deal. Infi now trying to defend here, going to use a Scroll of Town Portal for a tactical retreat, as all of the buildings, all of the defensive buildings here have been taken out. Infi gonna lose this Tree of Ages here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, and well, now he is down to 2 mining bases, and that is it. But still, that's 2 more than FoCuS's mining bases as well. All right, so 2 bases versus 0. Infi setting up a new Tree of Life here, entangling this gold mine here as the tactical, fast-moving, pillaging raiders are trying to take out building after building. FoCuS also placing down multiple watchtowers to try and get this particular gold mine up and running again, as we're going to be looking at the Keeper of the Grove and the Huntresses looking to engage here. All right, we could be looking perhaps at some entangles or ensnares, and that is definitely the case here, as the raiders are going to be benefiting a bit. Shadowhunter now gets up to level 6, so we're looking at level 3 Serpent Wards and level 3 Healing Wave, as the units are still, well, trying to find their footing.
A player's forces are under
All right, it feels like Infi is just trying to see and experiment with mass Huntresses and heroes to see if it is enough. It feels as though the Shadowhunter and the Blade Master, however, have too high of a level advantage over their opponent and should be able to just carry their way to victory here. Shadowhunter moving quickly off to the north. Raiders are here to perhaps try and, well, do a little bit more pillaging as well. Are we going to see some gold lost? Yes, there's some pillaging right there. Serpent Wards are being placed down to try and offer cover if the Huntresses do show up. Raiders are here now trying to take down this Tree of Life, and it looks as though this Tree of Life will get finished off. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal trying to defend, or is that a Staff of Teleportation? Can't quite tell. There's a Scroll of Town Portal, and we're going to be looking at an ensnare go down on the Alchemist. Alchemist does have a Scroll of Town Portal in order to get away, and it is going to be a tactical retreat as the Huntresses try to finish off a couple of units before they are whisked away. The Tree of Life was taken down, so another base loss. It is now 1 mining base to 1 mining base, and that is it. Infi at one point, I think, had 4 operational, no, not 1, 1 with another 1 just on the way soon. Trying to keep track of all of Infi's bases here, rather difficult, especially on this very large map here. Well, tiny Great Hall placed down here to try and set up an expo, but there was already an Ancient Protector, so that Ancient Protector perhaps would have finished off this Great Hall in no time flat. All right, Mirror Images going to be able to take down this Ancient Protector without a problem, while keeping more health on that Blade Master, as the Mirror Images able to absorb quite a bit of damage. Should have expanded on the island. Expanding on an island is always a bit dangerous, and then at the same time you also need to try and sell that item, so that sell the item you get from, I believe, is it Granite Golems here? Yeah, sell the Granite Golem item just so that your opponent doesn't see that powerful item and know that he now needs to start checking those corners of the map. Coming back across here, Keeper of the Grove, Scroll of Town Portal, Lightning Shield being delivered back here. How much damage is going to get racked up? They need to try and break free from that spot. 2 Lightning Shields, however, not enough to take down any of those Huntresses or those heroes. Coming back around, Tree of Life getting well, diced up by that Blade Master, able to finish things off, as the Shadowhunter once more on the move. 49 supply compared to 52. Infi still has a bit more gold, but all of that extra gold that's being mined out just seems to be heading into the experience bars of FoCuS's heroes. All right, Blade Master going to look to perhaps take down those treants. No, not going to even bother, trying to not allow Infi to just continually freely mine all of this gold. Goblin, are we going to see an ensnare? No ensnare there. We're going to see some serpent wards. There's the ensnare onto the Goblin Zeppelin, finishing it off. And then, well, I think it should dizzy the Goblin Shredder. No, Goblin Shredder was already on the ground. That's going to get finished up easily once more. Where is the Night Elf army? Night Elf army now going to try and put pressure perhaps on the Expo over here on the top left. There are, however, plenty of watchtowers with fortified armor. Scroll of Town Portal now inbound as the Raiders able to easily take down a building. Goblin Alchemist shows back up on the party, and now getting in some heals as well as the units are retreating back again. Blade Master going after a Huntress here. 2-1 upgrades going up against looks like 1-2 upgrades. Blade Master getting very close to level 6 now. We may be looking at Blade Storm joining in on the fight as well. FoCuS now on the bottom left-hand side of the map with plenty of watchtowers. Should be able to easily defend. Entangle onto the Keeper of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove only sitting at level 5. Doesn't have that many hit points. Could get bursted down very quickly, but we only see level 1 critical strike. This is one of those strange spots where the Blade Master isn't going to have sudden bursts of damage like we normally see with the level 3 critical strike. I keep on forgetting that it is, mirror images, so all of those mirror images are able to absorb damage, but I did not expect the Blade Master to be using his skills this way. I was expecting 1 point in mirror image, 3 points in critical strike, and maybe 1 point in wind walk in order to try and chase down units. All right. Coming back around, more healing spray, trying to stay alive here. Keeper of the Grove still staying at level 4. Blade Master somehow still at level 5 after all this time. Going to be able to get to level 6 as the Wisps are coming across the line to detonate. Mass detonation. The Shaman's pretty much out of mana, unable to purge Lightning Shield, but Bloodlust has already been cast on those Raiders, allowing for a faster chase. Blade Master now going after the Alchemist here. Are we going to see Blade Storm? Yes, we are. Blade Storm slicing and dicing its way through all of these units. Staff of Preservation saves from the Keeper of the Grove, as the Keeper of the Grove gets to level 5 as well. More Huntresses joining in from the fight in the back here. Vampiric Aura allowing the Blade Master to stick around in this fight just a little while longer. 60 supply compared to 55, as the Blade Master is still forced to deal with, a larger supply army on the other side, as Infi should be able to continue to just mine more gold and train up more units. However, they are just all Huntresses at this point in stage in the game. Mass tier 1 units, not quite enough. Tree of Life now in a little bit of trouble. Wisps are coming off the line here. Huntresses are going to come around the side, perhaps be able to get in some lucky or good glaive bounces, as the Tree of Life is still absorbing damage. Down to 400 hit points. Repairs are underway as the Huntresses are trying to finish off some of those units. Mirror Image now coming online as Wind Riders are showing up to the party, perhaps to try and poke down some of these Huntresses. Staff of Teleportation inbound. Goblin Alchemist, Acid Bomb onto some units. We see some retreating there, as the Blade Master is going to have a tactical retreat after the Tree of Life falls. We are now looking at 1 mining gold mine, and that is it, compared to the 2 mining gold mines of FoCuS here at the 10 o'clock position and this 7 o'clock position. FoCuS now with the economic advantage, hero level advantage, and army size advantage should be able to close out this game. All right. Huntresses now making their way back down to the south here. Is it going to... Well, how is this going to unfold? Wind Rider's going to try and engage. Wind Rider's going to go ahead and poke, and Infi does, in fact, leave the game here. A little bit of a strange game. Perhaps Infi trying to test the waters with a different strategy. Mass Huntresses with dual heroes, and really never moving beyond that. Never getting Orb of Venom, going for tier 3, getting better upgrades, or even adding Druids of the Claw Dryads, which we often see. Infi, even with all of that additional economy, did not translate into a victory on the battlefield. How much resource difference was there? Yeah, look at that resource difference. Nearly 1,000 gold if you account for the gold lost to upkeep, and still FoCuS able to take the victory there, as the mass tier 1 units were not enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.